Respect and love as foundations. When talking to a man, it's crucial to communicate with respect and love. Your words should build him up, not tear him down. The Bible teaches us to love our neighbors as ourselves, Mark 12:31, and that includes how we speak to our partners. Respect and love foster genuine connection and lasting affection. Authenticity and sincerity. Be true to who you are. Speak from the heart. In relationships, authenticity is key. Proverbs 12:22 says, "The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy." If you're sincere in your words, they will resonate deeply with him. Confidence in your speech. Confidence is attractive. When you speak with conviction, you demonstrate strength and clarity. This does not mean arrogance, but rather the confidence that comes from knowing your worth in Christ. Speaking with clarity and purpose will leave a lasting impact. Encouragement and support. Men are drawn to women who encourage and support them. Proverbs 31:26 says, "She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue." Speak words that uplift him, affirm his potential, and encourage him to grow. Your words can be a source of strength. Understanding his needs and desires, pay attention to his emotional and spiritual needs. Men appreciate when a woman truly listens and understands them. 1 Peter 3:7 encourages us to live with understanding, recognizing the importance of emotional connection in relationships. Patience and gentle communication. A man will be drawn to you if you exhibit patience and speak with gentleness. Proverbs 15:01 teaches that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Your tone and the way you express yourself can calm the storms within him and lead to deeper attachment. When you speak to a man, it is essential to approach your communication with both respect and love. These two elements are not just important, they are the bedrock of any healthy and lasting relationship. Respect and love go hand in hand. When you approach a man with genuine love in your words, you show him that he is valued, not just for what he can do for you, but for who he is as a person. This means honoring his strengths, acknowledging his weaknesses, and treating him with dignity. Love in this sense is not about sentimental gestures, but about communicating in a way that uplifts and encourages him to be his best self. From a Christian perspective, love is not merely a feeling or a passing emotion. It is an active choice. In 1 Corinthians 13, the Bible gives us a clear picture of what love looks like. Patient, kind, not envious or boastful, not rude or easily angered. It always protects, trusts, hopes, and perseveres. These characteristics should guide the way you speak to the man in your life. When you communicate with love, you choose to reflect the grace that God shows to all of us. This love is not conditional. It is sacrificial. It is a love that seeks to build up, not tear down. Respect is equally important. When you respect someone, you honor their worth and treat them as valuable. In relationships, respect is more than just being polite. It's about recognizing the unique qualities that make him who he is. When you respect a man, you understand that he is a complex individual with his own thoughts, feelings, and experiences. He is not simply a means to an end. Nor should your communication be one-sided. True respect involves listening, understanding, and being patient with him, especially when he is struggling. When you speak to him with respect, you show that you see him as a person of value in the eyes of God, which helps foster a deeper connection between you both. When respect and love are combined in your words, they create an atmosphere of trust and security. Men often feel the pressure to perform, to be strong, to have all the answers. This can lead to insecurity and fear of failure. But when you speak to him with respect and love, you provide a safe space for him to be vulnerable. He can open up to you without fear of being judged or belittled. This kind of communication is essential for emotional intimacy, as it helps both partners feel understood and supported. Furthermore, the Bible calls us to speak words of life. Proverbs 18:21 says, "The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." Your words have the power to either build him up or tear him down. When you speak to him with love and respect, you are choosing to speak words that will nurture and strengthen him. In the same way, harsh or disrespectful words can cause lasting damage to the relationship. God calls us to be careful with our speech, to choose words that reflect his love and truth. Speaking with love and respect is not always easy, especially in moments of frustration or conflict. It requires self-retrainal and a willingness to pause before responding. But it is in these moments especially that your words matter most. Choosing to speak gently, even when upset, can diffuse potential conflict and keep the relationship strong. In these challenging times, it is important to remember that love is patient and kind, not quick to anger or to criticize. Ultimately, when you communicate with love and respect, you mirror the relationship that Christ has with the church. He loves us unconditionally, patiently, and sacrificially. His words to us are always aimed at our growth, our healing, and our ultimate good. When you speak to a man with this same approach, filled with respect and love, you give him a glimpse of the love that Christ has for all of us, drawing him closer to you in a way that builds a lasting and meaningful connection. Authenticity and sincerity are two of the most powerful elements you can bring into any relationship, especially in communication. When speaking to a man, it's essential that your words come from a place of genuine emotion and truth. If your words are not sincere, he will sense the disconnection, even if you're saying the right things. People can often tell when someone is being disingenuous, and this creates a barrier in communication. When you speak to a man with authenticity, you invite him into a deeper level of connection because he knows that you are being real with him, and that is something that can't be faked. In the context of relationships, authenticity means that you are not trying to be someone else to win his affection or approval. You don't need to put on a mask to impress him because true connection can only come from being yourself. It is tempting at times to say what we think the other person wants to hear or to try to fit into an image that we think will make us more desirable. However, this rarely leads to a lasting connection. Instead, it often creates a sense of distance because he may feel that he's connecting with a version of you, not the real you. Sincerity is the natural companion to authenticity. It's about being honest in your words and actions, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. In relationships, there will be times when you need to speak difficult truths, and in those moments, sincerity is essential. Speaking with sincerity means you are not hiding behind pleasantries or evading the hard conversations. Instead, you speak with integrity, acknowledging your own feelings and inviting him to share his. This kind of open and honest communication fosters trust, which is foundational for any deep relationship. The Bible reminds us in Proverbs 12:22, "The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy." A man will feel drawn to you when he knows that he can trust what you say. Trust is not built through empty words or false promises, but through honesty and consistency. Being authentic and sincere also involves a willingness to be vulnerable. This might sound intimidating, especially if you've been hurt in the past, but vulnerability is the gateway to deeper connection. When you speak from a place of vulnerability, you show him that you trust him enough to share your true self, your joys, your fears, your dreams, and even your mistakes. It allows him to do the same and creates an environment where both of you can truly get to know each other. Vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or being emotionally reckless. Rather, it's about being real and open, allowing your words to reflect your true heart. Sincerity also requires humility. It means acknowledging when you don't have all the answers or when you've made a mistake. Acknowledging your imperfections doesn't weaken your position. Instead, it strengthens the relationship because it shows that you are comfortable being human and that you trust him enough to share those moments of imperfection. This helps him feel more secure in the relationship, knowing that you are not pretending to be perfect, but are simply being yourself. Speaking authentically and sincerely also helps you avoid misunderstandings. When your words match your heart, you are less likely to send mixed signals. In relationships, confusion often arises from unclear communication or when someone is not fully honest. When you are genuine in what you say, there is less room for misinterpretation. He will know exactly where you stand, and this level of transparency makes the relationship stronger. At the same time, authenticity and sincerity do not mean you should say everything that comes to mind, especially when it's harsh or unhelpful. Being authentic also involves being considerate of how your words will impact him. It's about balancing honesty with empathy, understanding that what you say matters, and that your words can either uplift or hurt him. It's not just about being real, it's about being real in a way that reflects Christ's love and grace. In doing so, you open up the possibility of creating a relationship that is not only authentic, but also grounded in mutual respect and understanding. Ultimately, speaking with authenticity and sincerity in a relationship creates an environment where both partners feel safe, understood, and valued. It builds a strong foundation for trust and emotional intimacy, where neither person feels the need to hide behind pretenses or falsehood. This is what makes communication in relationships meaningful and lasting. When you can be real, with no fear of rejection or judgment, and know that the person you are speaking to accepts and values you just as you are. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess, and it plays a significant role in communication. When you speak with confidence, you convey a sense of clarity and purpose that commands attention and respect. Confidence is not about arrogance or superiority. Rather, it is about understanding your own worth and expressing yourself from a place of inner strength. For a man, hearing your words delivered with confidence can be both reassuring and compelling. It tells him that you believe in yourself, and it encourages him to also believe in the connection you share. Confidence begins with self-assurance, knowing who you are and what you stand for. It is rooted in a sense of self-worth that comes from understanding that you are created with purpose and value in God's image. In the Bible, Proverbs 31:25 says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come." This verse illustrates a woman who walks confidently in her identity, knowing that she is strong and dignified because of who she is in Christ. When you speak with confidence, it is an outward expression of this inner security. You aren't seeking approval or validation from others, but you are grounded in the truth of your identity in Christ. Confidence in communication also involves being clear and direct with your words. When you speak with clarity, it shows that you know what you want to say and that you are not afraid to express your thoughts and feelings. Vagueness or hesitancy can create confusion, and people, especially men, may feel uncertain about how to respond. On the other hand, when you speak clearly and confidently, it reduces the chance of misunderstandings and allows the conversation to flow more smoothly. It shows that you are assertive, and assertiveness is often seen as a sign of strength. It gives the impression that you are comfortable in your own skin and unafraid to take charge of a conversation. However, speaking with confidence doesn't mean dominating the conversation or disregarding the thoughts and opinions of others. True confidence is about balance. It's about expressing your thoughts and feelings while also being receptive to the other person's perspective. It involves listening intently and engaging with empathy, knowing when to speak and when to give space for the other person to share. It's a quiet strength that is not overbearing, but instead draws others in with its calm and steady presence. Confidence also involves being comfortable with vulnerability. This might seem counterintuitive, but being able to express your feelings, even when they are difficult or uncertain, requires confidence. It takes strength to admit when you don't have all the answers or when you feel unsure. But when you share these moments with confidence, it actually deepens the connection. It allows the man to see you as someone who is not afraid to be real, someone who values truth over perfection. It creates an environment where both partners can be open and authentic without fear of judgment. When you speak with confidence, it also conveys that you trust the relationship and the person you are speaking to. You are not questioning or second-guessing everything you say. Instead, you speak in a way that suggests you have faith in the bond you are building and in the person you are speaking with. It shows that you are committed to making the relationship work and that you are willing to contribute to its growth. Confidence in communication can also make the man feel secure and valued, because it reassures him that you are not uncertain about your feelings toward him or the relationship. Importantly, confidence is not something that happens overnight. It is built over time through practice and self-reflection. It requires confronting your insecurities and choosing to believe in your own worth. In relationships, this can take many forms. It might mean voicing your desires or needs with respect and clarity, asserting your boundaries in a healthy way, or simply being honest about your emotions without fear of rejection. Confidence grows when you consistently choose to embrace your true self, understanding that God has uniquely designed you with purpose and value. Ultimately, speaking with confidence in a relationship strengthens the bond between partners. It allows for more honest, open, and meaningful communication. It fosters trust, as both individuals feel secure in each other's words and intention. And it invites growth, both personal and relational, because confidence opens up the space for both partners to thrive and evolve together. Confidence, therefore, is not just an attractive trait, it is an essential component of communication that creates a strong, lasting, and fulfilling relationship. When a woman speaks to a man with encouragement and support, it creates an atmosphere of trust and security, which can have a profound effect on the relationship. Men, like all people, need to feel uplifted and validated, and words of encouragement serve as powerful tools for building emotional intimacy and connection. Encouraging words can inspire a man to be the best version of himself, while support shows that you believe in his potential and are willing to stand by him through both his successes and challenges. Encouragement is about speaking life into the other person. It's not about giving empty compliments or flattery, but rather about genuinely acknowledging his strengths and achievements, both big and small. In the Bible, Proverbs 31:26 tells us that a wise woman speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Encouragement isn't just about praising someone for their efforts, but also about providing wise guidance, helping them grow, and pushing them to reach their potential. When a woman speaks words that inspire confidence and motivation, it shows that she sees the man's value, even when he might not see it himself. This kind of encouragement can be especially meaningful when he is facing difficulties or self-doubt. When he hears that you believe in him, it strengthens his resolve to keep going, knowing that he has someone in his corner who is invested in his growth and success. Support, on the other hand, goes hand in hand with encouragement. It's about being there for him, not just in times of triumph, but also in times of struggle. Support means listening when he needs to talk, offering comfort when he is down, and standing beside him when life gets difficult. In relationships, there will inevitably be challenges and obstacles, and how you respond in those moments can either make or break the bond you share. When you speak to him with words of support, you show him that you are committed to walking through life's ups and downs together. This is not about rescuing him or solving all his problems, but about offering a shoulder to lean on and showing him that he's not alone. In addition to emotional support, speaking words of encouragement can also help build his sense of self-worth. Men often face pressures to be strong, to provide, to be successful, and to have everything figured out. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy or frustration when things aren't going as planned. But when a woman encourages a man, it helps him feel appreciated for who he is, rather than just for what he does. By validating his efforts and recognizing his strengths, you remind him that his worth is not dependent on his achievements or his ability to perform, but on his intrinsic value as a person. Supportive words also help nurture a healthy relationship dynamic by showing that you are not just focused on your own needs, but also genuinely care about his. This mutual care creates a balanced, reciprocal connection where both individuals feel seen and valued. Men, like everyone, long to be understood, and when you speak to him in a way that acknowledges his feelings and experiences, it deepens the emotional bond between you. Your words can serve as a reminder to him that he is worthy of love, respect, and care, regardless of the circumstances or challenges he may face. Furthermore, encouragement and support can help foster resilience in a relationship. Life is full of uncertainties, and there will be times when both of you face difficult situations. But when you speak words of encouragement and support, you create a foundation that can weather the storms. It strengthens the relationship, making it more resilient to external pressures. And it also helps both individuals grow together. In those moments of hardship, the power of your words can be a beacon of hope, guiding him back to his center, reminding him of his strengths, and motivating him to press on. The Bible encourages us to encourage one another in all aspects of life. In Hebrews 3:13, it says, "But encourage one another daily, as long as it is called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness." Encouragement is not just a one-time act, but a continuous practice. Speaking to a man with encouragement and support on a regular basis can build a strong, lasting bond, fostering a relationship that is grounded in mutual respect, love, and understanding. It helps create a positive, uplifting dynamic where both individuals feel empowered to grow, support one another, and overcome challenges together. This kind of communication, rooted in love, can transform a relationship and make it not just enduring, but thriving. Understanding a man's emotional and spiritual needs is one of the most profound ways to connect with him. Men, like all people, have deep emotional layers that often go unnoticed, especially in a world that expects them to be strong, stoic, and independent. However, when you pay attention to these emotional needs, when you listen carefully to what he's saying, and even what he's not saying, you create a space for deeper communication and intimacy. Men are not just physical beings, and their emotional and spiritual lives are crucial components of who they are. When a woman understands these dimensions of a man's being, she can help nurture his growth and create a stronger, more fulfilling connection. First, understanding his emotional needs requires attentive listening. Often, men may not express their feelings as openly as women, either because they fear being judged or because they have been conditioned to keep their emotions in check. This doesn't mean, however, that they don't need to be heard. In fact, one of the most powerful things a woman can do for a man is to listen without judgment. When you take the time to understand his thoughts, concerns, fears, and joys, you show him that you value his inner world. This kind of understanding makes him feel safe, knowing that he can express himself without fear of rejection or criticism. In these moments, your words should be validating, not dismissive, acknowledging his feelings and helping him feel understood. Emotional needs also extend to his sense of security. Every man, no matter how confident he may appear, has a deep desire for emotional stability, particularly within the relationship. This security comes from knowing that his partner is a constant, reliable source of support. He needs to feel that you are committed to him, not just when things are easy, but also when the going gets tough. Men often want to protect the people they love, and they long for the same sense of protection in return. Understanding this need for security allows you to communicate in a way that reassures him, reminding him that you are in this together and that you are both committed to working through any challenges that arise. Spiritual understanding is equally important. A man's spiritual life is integral to who he is, and it shapes his decisions, his relationships, and his purpose. Understanding his spiritual needs means acknowledging that his faith, his connection with God, and his spiritual beliefs will play a significant role in how he approaches life. This requires asking open-ended questions, showing interest in his beliefs, and respecting the way his faith shapes his decisions and actions. It's essential to respect his spiritual journey, even if it differs from your own, because faith is deeply personal. By understanding his spiritual needs, you can support him in his growth, whether through shared prayer, spiritual conversations, or simply offering encouragement as he navigates his relationship with God. Another aspect of understanding a man's emotional and spiritual needs is recognizing his vulnerabilities. Like all people, men have fears, insecurities, and doubts. These can stem from past experiences, societal pressures, or even unresolved conflicts. When you approach him with compassion and empathy, you create a safe space for him to explore these vulnerabilities. This means speaking in ways that acknowledge his humanity, rather than expecting him to be perfect. Men often feel the pressure to be the strong, silent type, but they need someone who can see through that exterior and understand the complexities of their hearts. By responding with care, patience, and a listening ear, you give him the space to be real, to express the emotions that might be difficult for him to put into words. Additionally, understanding his emotional and spiritual needs allows you to communicate in a way that is supportive rather than critical. Men often internalize criticism and may withdraw when they feel attacked. Instead of pointing out flaws or shortcomings, try to speak in a way that encourages growth and improvement. Speak to him with the same grace and kindness that you would want for yourself. Encourage him when he struggles, celebrate his victories, and offer a compassionate ear when he faces setbacks. This type of communication fosters emotional intimacy where both partners feel emotionally safe and supported. Lastly, when you understand his emotional and spiritual needs, you can offer the right kind of encouragement and guidance that will help him thrive. Men, like everyone, long to grow, to develop, and to become better versions of themselves. Your understanding of his needs enables you to speak words that motivate him to reach his full potential. It's about knowing when he needs a gentle nudge, when he needs a word of affirmation, and when he needs you to simply be there for him without offering advice. In doing so, you create a relationship that nurtures both partners, emotionally, spiritually, and relationally, and allows them to grow in unity and purpose. In relationships, this kind of understanding transforms communication. It goes beyond surface-level exchanges and moves into the realm of true emotional connection. When a woman understands a man's emotional and spiritual needs, she becomes a source of strength, support, and encouragement. She becomes someone he can trust and rely on, not just in the good times, but especially during the struggles. This depth of understanding not only strengthens the bond, but also deepens the love and respect between both partners. Speaking to a man with patience is one of the most valuable tools in building a lasting and meaningful connection. Patience, especially in communication, allows for deeper understanding, creates space for emotional growth, and nurtures the relationship over time. In today's fast-paced world, where immediate gratification is often expected, showing patience can be a rare and profound quality that not only strengthens the bond between two people, but also fosters mutual respect. When you exhibit patience, especially in moments of tension or misunderstanding, it demonstrates a level of maturity and emotional intelligence that is often deeply appreciated. Patience in communication involves the ability to listen without interrupting, to give him the time to express himself fully, even if his thoughts are not immediately clear. Many times, men may struggle with articulating their emotions or thoughts, especially in moments of vulnerability. By practicing patience, you create an environment where he feels safe enough to share without fear of being rushed or judged. This gives him the time and space to open up, which is essential for building trust. When a man feels that you are genuinely listening to him without pressing for a quick response, it conveys that you value his words and that you are willing to be present with him in the moment. This act of being patient helps to break down barriers, encouraging him to open up more freely over time. Patience also means allowing a man the space to process his emotions and experiences. Men often have a different approach to dealing with emotions compared to women, sometimes needing more time to reflect before discussing how they feel. In such cases, it's important not to rush him or push for immediate responses. Instead, offer him support by letting him know that you're there when he's ready to talk and that you're not going anywhere. This respect for his emotional processing is a demonstration of care and understanding. Pressuring him for answers before he's ready might create distance, as it can make him feel like his emotions are not being respected. When you give him that space, it shows that you trust him to handle his emotions at his own pace while still being there to support him. Being patient also involves acknowledging that relationships take time to develop and mature. It's easy to expect immediate results, especially in the early stages of a relationship, but patience reminds you that meaningful connections are built over time. You might find that you don't always agree or that you don't see eye to eye on everything. In those moments, exercising patience becomes even more crucial. It's not about agreeing on everything, but about giving each other the grace to work through differences. Relationships, like any aspect of life, require time and effort to cultivate. Rushing to solve every problem or expecting perfection from the start can lead to frustration. However, when patience is present, it allows both partners to evolve and grow together, learning from mistakes and finding ways to support each other through the challenges. Patience also plays a critical role when it comes to handling misunderstandings or miscommunication. At times, words can be misinterpreted or emotions can get the best of both partners. In those instances, patience is essential for resolving conflicts in a way that doesn't damage the relationship. Instead of reacting impulsively or jumping to conclusions, patience enables you to take a step back, breathe, and approach the situation with a level-headed mindset. It's easy to respond in anger or frustration when you feel misunderstood, but showing patience allows you to communicate in a more constructive manner. Rather than escalating the situation, patience opens the door for calmer discussions, leading to greater clarity and understanding. Furthermore, patience with a man's growth and personal development is vital in a relationship. No one is perfect, and everyone has areas where they need to improve. By being patient, you allow him the opportunity to work on himself without constantly pointing out his flaws or expecting immediate change. This approach fosters an environment of grace where both partners feel safe to grow, knowing that they are loved and accepted even as they work through their imperfections. Patience in this sense means being supportive rather than critical, allowing the relationship to evolve naturally without forcing it. Finally, patience demonstrates a profound level of respect. When you are patient with a man, you show him that you respect his feelings, his time, and his process. It's easy to become frustrated when things aren't moving as quickly as you would like, but demonstrating patience teaches that love and respect are not contingent on immediate results. Instead, they are grounded in understanding, kindness, and the willingness to wait for things to unfold at their own pace. In relationships, patience is often the key to developing a deeper, more fulfilling connection. It allows both individuals to express themselves fully and authentically, without fear of being rushed or misunderstood. It fosters trust, creates space for emotional growth, and provides the foundation for resolving conflicts in a healthy and constructive manner. By practicing patience, you show that you are committed to building a relationship that is based on respect, understanding, and a genuine desire for growth and connection. This type of communication strengthens the relationship and deepens the emotional bond, allowing both partners to navigate life's ups and downs together with grace. In conclusion, when you speak to a man with respect, encouragement, patience, confidence, and understanding, you create an environment where trust, love, and connection can flourish. Each of these qualities is not just a way of communicating, but a reflection of your commitment to nurturing a relationship that is grounded in mutual care and support. When you approach him with these values, it not only strengthens your bond, but also allows both of you to grow individually and together. Your words have the power to build, heal, and inspire. So, speak with intention, speak with love, and let your words be a source of light in his life. Good luck on your journey. May you continue to grow in wisdom and understanding, nurturing your relationships with grace and confidence. Thank you for taking the time to engage with these ideas, and may your words always be filled with the power to connect, uplift, and inspire.